Jeff Seiler says, my question for Dave this month is, hi Dave, I'm wondering, did you know when you finished JAKA'S story that you were going to bookend that with Rick's story, much like you bookended women with guys? Yes, I did. It was pretty, Rick's story was pretty vague conceptually in my mind at the time of JAKA'S story, but at various points while I was writing JAKA'S story, I was mentally throwing things a good 10 years ahead, 15 years ahead to whatever that book was going to be called. And if I recall correctly, you printed your multi-part essay entitled Mama's Boy in the back of the book during the Rick story run. We never saw Rick interacting with his mom, but Snatcher was sort of a surrogate mother to him in a very manipulative, bad way, right? And it's like, yes, that's true. About the only thing that actually made it into the book about Rick and JAKA'S relationship with Rick's mother was kind of a subtle kind of thing. And Oscar writes his letter to JAKA, and Rick gives it to her, and she reads it, and right away she knows she's going to write a letter back. And she said something about, where's that good stationery that your mother gave him? And that was, to me, that was intended to speak volumes about how that went. That I don't think JAKA and Rick's mother had a happy relationship by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was one of those, Rick's mother was very used to being the number one woman in Rick's life, and saw JAKA as an interloper, and tried to fight back to maintain her place, and as often happens in those situations, just completely lost Rick. It's like, no, Rick, in JAKA'S mind, Rick belongs to JAKA. Don't make waves. Don't cause any static, or Rick will follow me out of your life completely, which is what happened. I think as Rick's mother became aware that that was happening and was going to happen, inevitably, as a kind of bitter gift, she gave them really nice stationery, like you can write to me at any time. And the fact that in the apartment the size of the postage stamp that Rick and JAKA had, JAKA has to think, where did I put that good stationery? Probably means exactly what it sounds like it means. They never wrote to Rick's mother. They never intended to write to Rick's mother. And there you go. That's what happens when you try to cross JAKA. I think that's one of those what goes around comes around, however, because the maternal presence does reassert itself, as Jeff suggests here, when Mrs. Snatcher got Rick and JAKA in her claws, and it was, oh dear, this fellow was actually quite a nice fellow, and was, just, and still is a very, very nice fellow, except for this wretched Kevilis that he happens to have taken up with. So you should always take care not to extract people from other people's lives, because you're probably going to experience your own extraction somewhere up ahead, which, as we know from the ending on JAKA'S story and story forward from there, that is what happened to JAKA.
Well, and also, while Thatcher is sort of a mother substitute, JAKA is a much bigger mother substitute. I mean, most of the first of the book is JAKA treating Rick like a little boy because mentally Rick is kind of a little boy.
Right, and that is the problem of that. If that's what you're attracted to, that level of naivete and that extremely simple kind of person, does tend to happen if you choose to marry that person and make them your life mate. If you take him away from his mother and he's a mama's boy, you're going to have to be his mother, and that's going to be a really unhappy situation. No woman should have to become her husband's mother, and I think it probably happens a lot more often in our society than we're aware of, and a lot of those women would really like somebody to solve that if they possibly could. I didn't want to get into this box. Can somebody tell me how to get out of this box? And it's like, I don't think so. That's over in the women reading minds category, and you'll just have to try and coach each other